Hello everyone, I'm Andre here with another episode of the Ace Film Podcast. So when I first decided to do this podcast, this was probably one of the episodes I had originally planned in mind. I'm like, yes, when I do this, I'm going to make sure to do an episode on this topic because for this one, it's one that a lot of people need to hear in my opinion. So for this episode, we are going to be talking about video editing softwares. So for this, I need to be a little bit careful about it because I only really know two video editing softwares that I've used in my career and lifetime, so I'm gonna be talking about only those two. So I'm not gonna diss or talk bad about anything else, but just for these two editing softwares that I am going to talk about, I know them in and well, but I don't really know, I haven't used anything else besides these two. So when I first started making videos, I really did not know where to start. I was actually just going through my computer, and all of a sudden I saw a Windows Movie Maker, and I clicked on it and had all this stuff going on, and then firstly I started using it. At first it was a little bit difficult because I had never used it before, but interface and everything seemed really simple, so I was able to go ahead and start easily, and everything was more or less easy to follow with no instructions. I didn't even look up on any YouTube videos or tutorials. I just simply went straight in there. It was very basic. So Windows Movie Maker was my starter first editing software. One thing I want to talk about as well is that it is completely free. Most Windows computers have it already pre-installed on your computer. So if you're on a Windows computer right now, you can actually just probably search up Movie Maker and it's already on there. When I first started uploading videos to this particular channel, you can even look back there, all those videos were done by Windows Movie Maker. A lot of my videos back in the day were like meme videos before like memes were actually a thing. And it was just kind of funny edits. I know my Squidward video went completely nuts with views. I think it's because it had the title Squidward in there. If you've never started editing videos, I think Movie Maker and other free softwares are somewhere to begin. Now, as great as Movie Maker was that it served for me, it also had really bad disadvantages other than the cutting and dissolving and the small color filters and text I could add. Other than that, it was basically it. I was just really limited to those small tools, and I think that's a big part that's holding Movie Maker back from being something like this. And because it is for free, they don't have a whole lot of options for it. It wasn't until I started taking film classes that I was introduced to Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, Adobe Premiere Pro is way better, like 100 times better than Movie Maker. I can do as far as coloring, transitions, effects, small graphics. All of it is just way better. And I'm being honest, Movie Maker is just like so pathetic. It's only like 1/10 of what Adobe Premiere Pro can do. I even still use it till today. Even how I'm doing this right now, I'm using Adobe. Some of Hollywood movies also use Adobe Premiere Pro as well. Some recent ones are Coen Brothers' Hail Caesar and Deadpool. I know tons of YouTubers who edit on Premiere Pro as well. So it's just an all-around program from small to big productions. Now, with something great like Premiere Pro, there's also a ton of disadvantages as well. Firstly, the program itself is going to cost you about yearly $250. However, for me in my current situation, I'm kind of lucky. Since I'm a student, they do offer discounts, and so I'm only paying about $110 a year. So if you're able to get in my current situation where you are a student or a university, you could get the program at a discount. But as well as in my film class as well, they have the computers there. They have the program already on there. So even if I didn't want to spend that for myself, I can just use those computers and have that already available for my usage. Also, I'd like to mention that Adobe is also really hard to understand at first. When I first got the program and I first started editing videos on there, I had no clue what I was doing. I was like, what's all these buttons and everything? It isn't really easy at first. It's not like you get in front of it and you can start learning on your own. It took for me about a year of myself to fully get extremely comfortable in it, to the point that even after spending about a year learning, I was at the point where I can even teach somebody. I felt comfortable, and even till today, I'm still learning new ways, as well as Adobe updates Premiere Pro so it can have new features and new tools to mess around with. At the end of the day, like a lot of things, it's really up to the person and how you use it. Now, for me personally, I'm doing this as a career and full time, so I use this on a daily basis. So I need something like Adobe Premiere Pro to get a lot of big and small productions done. However, if you are just small and starting out and you want to do something basic, you're not willing to do a huge production or a huge video, just stick with Windows Movie Maker or any other software you can get your hand on. If it's something small, go with it. I like to think of this as losing weight. So if you want to start out losing weight, just go ahead and something small. You don't need to go and buy a gym membership that's really expensive and get yourself out there. You can do a simple jog, and you don't need to go all out. However, if you are serious and you're trying to like be an athlete or whatever, you would want to get a gym membership and go out there. So I'd like to think of that as like that for buying software. Before I end here, I want to tell a story which is kind of relevant to this topic. There was a film festival near where I live, and I went there and I went to go see a particular movie. It was called The Last Smile. You can actually look up the trailer online on YouTube. By the way, it was a fantastic film. I really loved it. The message and all that. It was a really, really well done film. But the director wasn't there, but the producer was there, and so after the movie they did like a quick Q&A session. Then after the Q&A session, everybody left, but I went to go talk to the producer afterwards, and I got to talk to her, and I literally had a whole entire 20 minutes with her, and just that 20 minutes I learned so much just about how much it takes, how much time it goes there. Some of the stuff that she told me, like I've kept it in the back of my mind, and always keeping it through there. And it was really great to see and talk to somebody who actually made it. You have a lot of people like, oh, I want to do this, but she did it. She's there. And when I was there, she actually told me some stuff. Some big things that I learned was that when you get into the filmmaking career and business, for a good bit, like the first 10 years or whatever you do, you're not going to make any money whatsoever, because it's name. It takes a while to get it, and so she hasn't made any money since she started producing and all this stuff. And it's mostly just a passion and dedication that plays a huge role into directors and producers. It's the passion and the art of everything that really is the whole the whole fuel to the train car that you're pushing on. Anyways, so she's told me that her movie was edited on Final Cut Pro. So there's a huge array of options to choose from when you're editing on big productions, because they got a huge list. They can literally edit on whatever they want. But when she told me that, I was kind of a little bit worried. I'm like, oh, why am I editing on Premiere Pro when she's doing Final Cut Pro? So I'm just like, what am I doing? But it was good. It's also kind of a little bit of a side note. If you are seeing some film festivals in the area, just go to them. I know sometimes they're a little bit expensive to go and see them, but just go and talk to people. The more connections you make, the more you get more involved. And even then, we exchanged emails, me and her, and we still till today, kind of like send stuff back and forth here and there, like, oh, I'm working on this huge thing, like, oh, this is great, you need a little feedback. But it's just talk to people, and it'll come through in the end. So thanks for listening to this episode of the Ace Film Podcast. If you want to help fund this podcast and this channel as a whole, check out our Patreon and the description below, because nobody is making money off of YouTube ever since all the ads were pulled from YouTube. I think it's like every 1,000 views is like 1 penny or something like that. It's really bad. People who have like millions of subscribers are literally getting like $100 per video. It's really struggling for everybody. Plus, I think this video won't even reach 1,000 views, so I won't even get a cent at all. Probably half a cent is all I'm going to get off of this video. No, 1/4 of a cent. That's how much I'm going to get. So stuff coming to the channel this week. I had uploaded episodes from a show that I used to do. It's called Word of the Week. It's where I pick a word every single week and then make a short sketch comedy about it. And there are 2 more episodes coming again this week. I would like to mention as well, last week I did not upload a podcast episode because I am being bombarded with the new semester starting, so it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to get these episodes out. And don't be surprised if a week or so it goes without an episode, but I probably still will upload the daily, new content and stuff, but just not a podcast episode. It does really take time to plan these episodes out, like picking a topic and recording and editing all this stuff, and also have to edit out all the uhs and ums and breathing, so I have to edit all this stuff so it sounds a little bit more better, but it does take time, so be aware that I am getting started with other stuff, so I may not get all these out in time. And lastly, I did do my speed run for The Last of Us, and now I hold the world record for being The Last of Us in 14th place. So I'm the 14th fastest person to beat The Last of Us. My time was 3 hours and 58 minutes, so yeah, I'm famous now. I'm gonna put that on my resume, go yeah, you know me, bro. I'm the 14th fastest person to beat Last of Us. But on that night in particular, I was up to 5 a.m. I was doing the live stream, so it is archived on the channel if you want to go see the whole entire 3 hours in its all glory. No cuts or anything like that. I had to actually record all of it at some point, so I can submit it and proof that I did beat it. And I just didn't want to record it privately or anything like that, because I had to record it, then export it. So I was just better just to live stream it and then send the live stream to speedrun.com to get it verified. But yeah, I was up to 5 a.m. I was so tired, and my friend Brian was there with me, so we did talking and stuff and talked about movies and Shaun the Dead and all the zombie stuff while we're doing it. So if you want to watch it, it's pretty good. It's still on the channel, but you'll slowly see that at the beginning we started at I think it was midnight, and I'm hey everyone, all happy. And then when I started getting to 4 a.m. and 5 a.m., I'm all right guys, I'm still doing this. And I was just ready to go to tired. I was super drained out. But yes, 14th place. I'm happy now, I guess. But now that I'm probably saying this, someone's going to try and beat my score. I didn't really try too much. I was too busy having fun. But yep, that is all. All right, everyone. Take care.
For you.